And now,
a Zone It 91.3 91-second movie review.
5, 4, 3, 2, and
action!
In its simplest form, Monster takes the viewer on an outward journey into the questionable nature of racial bias in the American justice system. It's a story told through the narration of Steve Harmon, played by Calvin Harrison Jr., a young, aspiring filmmaker who stands trial for being an accessory to a robbery that resulted in the brutal death of the store owner. Through a series of flashbacks, we learn about Steve the person, while the jury, through testimony, learns about the actions of Steve the defendant. The movie is not without its share of flaws, and it left me wondering whether I was frustrated with the story and its resolution, or with the way in which it was delivered. Much like the development of our aspiring filmmaker protagonist, the film deliberately starts out with an almost overly stylized feel to it that eventually finds a steady path to deliver a pretty captivating story. It is worth noting that Monster was made almost 5 years ago and originally premiered at the Sundance Film Festival in 2018. It's been shelved ever since and only recently released to a wider audience by Netflix. While this shouldn't denigrate the quality of the film, it can impact the expectations of a stellar supporting cast which include Jeffrey Wright, Tim Blake Nelson, A$AP Rocky, and John David Washington. While I would have loved to see more from stars like Washington, who's since gone on to shine in films like The Black Klansman and Tenet, I understand that inflated roles wouldn't have added much more to the narrative. What I ultimately like about the film is how its moral complexity causes the viewer to look inward and examine through what lens you typically view certain people.
Cut! That's a wrap!